Hello everyone! Some weeks ago, SDPR presented us the first DLC to the Cyberpunk 2077. At the presentation, we were shown a lot of interesting content. First of all, the trailer that showed us so-called new content. The addition will not just add new skins and weapons into the game, but completely change the concept of the game and the number of mechanics. So Cyberpunk is waiting for the large-scale and long-awaited repair, after which it will finally become a real candy. But we'll start with the most important thing, the plot of the new DLC. When I heard about Phantom Liberty for the first time, I thought that the future plot will be very trivial, like saving of the US president or killing the leader of the gang or stealing some kind of super technology or a nuclear suitcase. All in all, I was right. Projects decided to poop on fantasy, and in the upcoming edition they offer us to save the president of the new USA. From the available information, we know that the president of the new USA decided to fly to Night City, which doesn't belong to the US, and she decided to fly through Pacifica, where her plane was shut down and, thanks to the scriptwriters, landed in the most dangerous places in the Cyberpunk universe, Dark City. This location is ruled by a former soldier Hansen, who immediately announced a reward for the president's head. But what does we have to do with it? At the time of the plane crash, a strange Netrunner will contact us, and she will offer us to save the president in exchange for... what do you think? Of course, they're healing us from Johnny Silverhand. However, we will not carry out this mission alone, but in the company of sleeping agents. And here I make another prediction. It will turn out that earlier President Maya sent a lot of her agents to the Night City to make here a riot, then attack it with the military forces and take it back from corporations, or to kill her main enemy Hansen, or to make another trivial thing. But what can be more trivial than a plot where you save the US president? To be honest, when I saw the first teaser of Phantom Freedom, I thought that the addition would be based on the plot of the movie Escape from Los Angeles. The action of the picture just takes place in the world of early Cyberpunk in 2013. But in this movie, the main character had to save the nuclear suitcase and at the same time the president's daughter. But this film is very interesting, because the hero saved the whole world. Because comrades wanted to use the US weapons against the USA, so they will cut off electricity in whole America, and then Cuba and all South America countries will attack the United States. Hope it will soon happen. So the movie for 1996 was very cool, and you must watch it. But as I see, the developers were inspired by the franchise Olympus Has Fallen and the blockbuster Big Game, where was the same plot. A group of mercenaries shoot down the president's plane and hunt for him in the Scandinavian forest. So, in future edition, we will become the nanny of the president and will save her ass. But I still hope that the CD Projekt will add some kind of global or universal confrontation and put the lives of all citizens of Night City on the line. All in all, when we will complete all missions, we will see 2 or 3 endings, where we will save president or sell her to mercenaries, or there will be some kind of neutral ending. Plus, we will have 1 or 2 new endings for the main plot. However, despite that trivial plot, we are waiting for several twists like in the Game of Thrones, where everyone betrays everyone, as well as many new locations and bosses. In particular, we were shown how we talks to Idris Elba on a space station, so maybe we will fly to the orbital casino, which was shown in one of the endings. Among the unusual bosses, we were shown a unique military development, a spider robot with a heavy laser, which has already appeared in different games. For example, in the game about Ubisoft cyber assassins Watch Dogs 2. But in this game, we controlled robot. In the Phantom Freedom, we will have to defeat this spider. I think this battle will look like battles in the God of War, fighting with Kraken in the second Witcher, or fighting with bosses in Atomic Heart. Jump, jump, kick, hide, kick. Now let's talk about the so-called innovations. First of all, from the trailer we know that after the release of the DLC we will be able to shoot from a car and a motorcycle, as well as use melee weapons on vehicles. Very fresh decision. No, it isn't, because we already have the mode in Steam Workshop that make the same things. Also, shooting from cars and motorcycle is not a great achievement, because all normal games like GTA or Red Dead Redemption 2 have this option on the release of the game. Next, as DPR we finally remake the police system and bring it to the level of the same GTA, when cops patrol the city in cars, and if we commit a crime, the level of crime increase and a squad comes for us. With each new level, the strength of the police outfit will increase, and on the last level we will fight with the max tech platoon. Well, CD Projekts only in 2023 discovered GTA mechanics. That's good. For example, the developers think that struggle between gangs for points on the map is the great achievement for game industry. But this mechanic was invented in 2009, when the second Godfather was released, and maybe even earlier. Besides, I remember that in 2020 they promised to include this mechanic in the game, but they made a big piece of shit. The projects scattered locations with bandits on the map, and we were given tasks to clean it. There was no real war between the gangs. Now everything will change, and a new layer may appear on the map, where the influence of gangs will be shown, and we will be able to help them on the streets or look at their battles. By the way, we will receive new tasks from fixers, and Mother Wells will become a fixer, and we will be able to sell her stolen cars. Another truly unique innovation will be the redesigning implant system. So, having hung a bunch of chrome on ourselves, we will risk catching cyberpsychosis, which was in the original universe. So, when we will put on new device, we will receive debuffs like poisoning. When we will have too much implants, we will get cyberpsychosis, which will give a powerful debuff or take us out of control. We will start killing everyone for a minute, and the crime rate will increase to the maximum. So now we must think and choose wisely what chrome to use. But maybe developers will make some more cells for implants. But even this will not make the game easier, because the developers made our clothes useless. Now all armor and perks will be attached to implants, and clothes will be transformed only in skins. Also, developers will completely change the skill tree. It will become smaller, and it will consist of different bonuses like dodges, movement speed, and so on. We will also open a new branch of skills called Biochip. However, we will be able to download it only in Dark City, and the Biochip will give us additional bonuses and perks. Personally, the Biochip remind me the mutation system in the third Witcher, when we break into the laboratory of Professor Moreau and drug Geralt with mutagens, after which we can create gene combinations from bonuses. Here, most likely we are waiting for the same thing, or we can use the Biochip to get Johnny Silverhand's abilities. Write in the comment what do you think about this thing. But if you are a beggar, you must roll up your lip, because new DLC costs $30, just like the game, but I don't think that projects made one more game for us. Therefore, it is best to use the old grandfather's way of getting games. Also, you mustn't buy this edition on release, because everything can crash. As I said, developers will remaster many parts of the game, and they will make new game system. So on release, we will try to start playing Phantom Freedom with an old saves, which can lead to a crash or getting stuck in textures. If suddenly this does not happen, then you load the save and your level will crash, because we will get a new skill tree, new builds, implants, and also your inventory or character will crash too. That's why best decision is to start a new game and save your PC from the Polish foolishness. And finally, the last reason why this product does not deserve your money. Well, you can listen my video again from the very beginning. But if you don't understand, then answer the question: what does this edition give to us? They will open an existing zone on the map, fill it with units and give us a couple of hours of new missions with a trivial plot. Okay, you can still pay money for this, but not 100% of the game cost. Next, we will get new skins, new weapons and other cosmetics. Well, this is an edition for $5, maybe $10. Okay, but such edition creates for fans. As for me, I don't buy such stuff. And finally, the most important thing, this edition will get typical mechanic from GTA, like shooting from cars, gang wars, a normal police system and so on. In my opinion, all these things should have been back on its release in 2020. Moreover, in 3 years, fans made a lot of mods that solved all these problems, and I think that the project just copied a few mods from the Steam workshop and want to sell it to us for $30. Let me remind you that the best game of last decade, Red Dead Redemption 2, cost a little bit more than $30, but it has all mechanics and minimum bugs. But SDPR offers us to buy a work piece for $30 and then again pay $30 for ability to play in this shit. I think the guys from Wall Street are sitting and envying these Polish geniuses. Only they can deceive people in such a way that they will be satisfied. Stupid kids and bloggers will say that we're getting a new game. Some exalted sectarians generally say that right now there was a release of Cyberpunk 2077 and they are very happy about this event. Well, I am no longer surprised at how fans see developers shit and praise them for it, but I am more concerned about ordinary people who really believe in this propaganda, because this is the fraud of the century. Imagine that you buy a laptop for $500, open it, turn everything on, and then you realize that there is no charger in the box. Then in the store, seller tells you that charging sells separately from the laptop and it costs $500. Although by all the rules, charging should be sold together with the laptop. Exactly the same situation happened with Ghostly Freedom. Some may say that we pay $30 for new missions, but the updates of the mechanics and locations will be free. If you don't like it, don't pay. My fucking god, what a naivety! All this so-called content is included in the price of the edition, but it will pay off at the expense of those who buy this edition, and many will buy it. If not at the release, then during the sale. This is a typical marketing strategy. Yes, there is no sense of justice here, but you can earn a lot of money. And then, all the so-called new mechanics are known and used in the gaming industry since 2007, if not earlier. Therefore, I have new question. What CD Projekt have been doing all these 10 years? The announcement of work on Cyberpunk was made in 2012, and for 8 years of work they could not make a shooting from car, the normal appearance of the police, and so on. What a bullshit! We have the example of Atomic Heart, which has been developed by no name indie studio since 2018, and which shown itself 10 times better than Cyberpunk in 2020 on release. From this, we can conclude that the projects once again fucked up and began to make Cyberpunk quickly on their knees in 2018 or 2019. They quickly released the work piece of code, collected money and began to bring it to the divine. Then they decided to sell it to us for the second time. Well, my impression of the first DLC to Cyberpunk is twofold. The game itself is of course cool. The setting is cool, one of my favorite. Yes, even the implementation is not bad. The plot is trivial in some places, but Cyberpunk 2077 is like The Witcher 3. It is a library of Easter eggs to all works from the Cyberpunk genre. So, the idea is implemented well. But what pisses me off and freezes me out is the attitude of developers towards players. Like, constant deceptions and the desire to implicitly earn a couple of extra euro dollars. Nevertheless, it seems that in September we are waiting for a new revival of Cyberpunk 2077. The edition will surprise everyone, many will buy it, play and bring a lot of money to the developers. I hope that they will spend these funds wisely and do everything possible to make the great new Witcher's adventure. That's it for today. Press like, write a comment and subscribe to the channel.